Through the past 10 years, my work has always started outdoors in the field, mostly by making sound recordings in very remote and demanding locations, such as the desert of Sahara, rainforests of Brazil, glaciers, mountain peaks, or any kind of demanding weather patterns. For me, it has never really been about making a portrait of nature, but is rather about using those outdoor conditions as active forces in my sculpture. I'm not particularly interested in explaining or understanding everything that is happening outside. I'm more focused on this idea of contamination, of thinking that what is happening outside can have a direct impact. So basically I expose my sculpture to these systems of effect, gravity, weather, temperature, decay, or any kind of geological transformation. So in a way, nature assumes this sort of performative role in the sculpture. And that is the reason why a lot of my works are ephemeral, and sometimes they cannot even be shown for a long period of time. That's where sound comes in, because sound is this immaterial and invisible force. At the source of every sound, you always have some kind of friction or contact between physical bodies. So for me, sound is kind of the movement of sculpture. I think sound basically helps you understand that there is some degree of elasticity in all materials. Frequencies cannot be detained in space. They constantly go and they disappear. They are not static. They are just existing. When I create an art piece, I think about all its parts in an equal way. The visual, the concept, the form, shape, the sound of it, all of these ingredients are fundamental for the final result. I don't consider them to be only sound pieces. They are a whole. They are not a part. Some people have this romantic idea of nature as being this place of calm, peace, harmony, and perfection. But I'm actually attracted by the brutality of it. An earthquake is often perceived as being a force of destruction. But in fact, the movement of the tectonic plates is the main force, the main geological movement that builds our continents, our mountains, our cliffs, our hills. So there's this ambiguity between destruction and creation that for me is fascinating.
Just a little? Yeah, I guess it would be perfect. Oh, I found the spot. Wow. Start like slowly inclinating them a little bit towards the center. So, but in a circular way. So that means that if you're here, it will start inclinating towards here, right? Okay. And if you're here, start inclinating towards here. Yeah, okay. That's okay.
But like not right now. Now I just.
You can.
Like.
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
So the main piece of this exhibition is basically an archive of sound frequencies from earthquakes. They are played through this platform of wood pieces. Basically, when you have any kind of volcanic or seismic movements, the sounds originated are so low that they cannot be heard by humans. They are below our threshold of acoustic hearing. So basically what I do is to take that acoustic energy in those recordings and expose them to a sculpture. In this case, the sculpture is made by 50,000 individual wood pieces. Everything you hear in this sculpture is 100% acoustic. The wood hitting point by point and responding to the frequencies of earthquakes in a certain way is the same as you would have a controlled earthquake inside of the exhibition room. They move and vibrate accordingly to chain reaction. They influence each other, they hit each other, and they form patterns, they form movements. There's a lot of individual elements into it, but they are formed as a whole and they are affected as a whole.
We need a big cable just for the center, mostly.
Yeah.
The rest of the pieces under this exhibition, they come from older series and they are fairly simple. I basically collect different geological forms all around the world And I choose these forms for their acoustical properties. So I imagine right away how they will sound once they are read by a microphone. If you think about a traditional sculpture, you will go and look after the perfect marble or the perfect wood to carve. And I pretty much do the same, but I look at an object and I imagine right away what kind of sounds you will be able to take out of that object. For instance, if you have a volcanic stone, you will have a lot of textures, a lot of gaps, a lot of holes in it. You will have completely different sounds as if you'd have a very perfect marble sanded stone. This diversity of acoustic sounds that you can get from different materials is very simple, but has always fascinated me. And what I created in this room is basically a multi-channel composition that is dictated not by any musical terms, but is dictated by geology itself.